guys, I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I want to talk a little bit different this episode, and I may continue to do every episode of Daredevil Born Again. Now, this isn't something I normally do on YouTube, especially. I will watch stuff. Obviously, I'm a fan film, comic fan, artist, all of that stuff. Worked at Marvel, worked at DC, read Daredevil, all different runs. Miller, Bendis, I know Daredevil. I've actually drawn Daredevil a couple of times. Now, Born Again has been one of these things that's been on my radar, mainly because of all the production hell that went along with it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we do, if you guys will look down below, hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Also, please consider going over and supporting our Indiegogo campaign and our crowdfunder, Inglorious Rex Volume 3. It's up right now, and you can get Volume 1 and 2 in our shop. Now, this show, for me, I like it. If you like the Netflix stuff, you're probably going to like this, except for a couple of things. And depending on what side of the aisle you're on politically, this might not be for you. One of the things in this show that's completely different is some of the effects. Let's be honest, the way Daredevil is jumping around with his Billy Cane thing, grappling hook thing he's got, they really have like probably the worst effects of that. It does not feel like his weight is being supported by this thing. It doesn't feel like his body's being jerked around by the rope whenever he's being pulled by it or whatnot. Actually, look, let's face it, the thing doesn't exactly make sense in the comics all that much. So why would it translate to film all that well? They kind of avoided this for the most part with the Netflix stuff. And this thing's been a production hell. First, let's talk about that. The Netflix show was successful. They had the Luke Cage stuff. They had the Iron Fist stuff, you know, Jessica Jones, all of that, whatever. Punisher even was good. Basically, the only two things that came out of it well, and not, you know, for the most part, was Daredevil and Punisher. Now, they were going to do something different with Daredevil, obviously looking at the She-Hulk stuff, and people did not like it. People did not like She-Hulk, and they've basically scrapped whatever Born Again was going to be and refilmed the whole thing. If you've kept up with the stuff online, you will know what they're talking about, what I'm talking about here in particular. But originally, this thing, the first season was supposed to be like almost like 12 episodes or something like that. So this is getting cut back to around 9 episodes. Season 2 is going to be probably, which they've already greenlit, going to be 8 episodes. The yellow suit's not in this thus far. They do hint that he has other suits, but none of this really matters, okay? Because you're going to have to get past the first episode to know if you even care about this other stuff. And again, 2 episodes are up as of this recording, and I have not watched the second episode. Why? Because it depends on how this video does, because I'm through with this. I have no interest in watching this anymore. Why? Because it got super political there at the end. Now, this thing right off the bat is going to make you say, hey, I remember the Netflix show. Everything you're giving me right off the bat, you're hooking me. You're hooking me. There's a spoiler alert. I'm not going to tell you, but something big happens right off the bat, probably in like the first 10 minutes. You guys have seen a trailer they've shown you of a fight scene between Bullseye and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, and it's clumsy as hell. You have to pause it every 5 minutes to understand every transaction that's happening between the blades Bullseye's throwing and Daredevil kind of knocking him away with his billy club. But it's not just the effects that's the problem. The fight choreography that was so awesome in the Netflix show, historically, the hallway fight scene was great. Everybody loved it. It had 2 stuntmen as Daredevil. When he goes in one doorway, another guy comes out. It was done in one shot. Seemed epic. Kind of an homage, if you will, to the old boy fight scene with the hammers in the hallway. It was great. Everybody was talking about it. This show hit the ground running. That is not going to be in this Disney Plus TV show. That was in the Netflix show. The fighting in this is actually a lot worse, which I don't understand. Even simple things like Daredevil throwing a knee to knock out Bullseye in the head seems to be clunky, clumsy, and slow. Like, I don't understand why I mean, a simple martial art move as a knee that anybody can learn in their first day of Muay Thai just seemed to kind of get botched up. Whereas, like, all the fight sequences in the Daredevil Netflix show, for the most part, were great. And a lot of times, either the punching and swinging is too compact. It just doesn't read right. It's not good. It's either slow. I don't know. We're in a world of green screen, guys. Nobody's on a real set anymore. All of that stuff. One of the things that happens in this show, and this is for the Netflix thing, is they keep talking about this effing diner. They talk about it in this sequence between Fisk, Daredevil, and right off the bat, Foggy, Karen, and Daredevil. It actually feels like you skipped ahead, but they're complaining that a diner they like is no longer there. And again, this is kind of like a nod back to every character in here is saying, I wish Netflix was still handling us. I wish to God Netflix was still our home. I wish Disney had never got their hands on us. I wish they hadn't ripped us away, but they did for Disney Plus. Here we are, and it really seems like an inside joke. Where this show goes completely wrong, and I will not be watching this unless this video does well, and you guys drag me through the multiple episodes, is I guess somewhere in Echo, and this is probably where they started refilming this and restructuring this. Wilson Fisk got shot in the head by Echo, or shot at. The camera pulls away. You don't actually see where he shot at. So, spoiler alert for people that haven't watched the show, but this show, the whole plot of this show is basically Matt Murdock thinking maybe he doesn't want to be Daredevil anymore. Wilson Fisk coming back, but now running for the mayor of New York. Politics. Let's go politics. Plus, Wilson Fisk has been shot in the head before. That seems a little close to home, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem a little close to home? Actually, it's actually talked about when he's on TV to the press. That's kind of weird. And where the show goes is he's telling Daredevil, I'm not Kingpin anymore. Daredevil's like, okay, but if you do, I will check your ass. And basically, the city, this is all about Matt Murdock being upset that he can hear everybody in New York wanting to vote for Wilson Fisk, and he can't stop it. And actually, the show ends with a nice outcome to a date for Matt Murdock. You'd think life would be good. He should be looking to the future, happy even. And he can't enjoy his date because Bad Man, Orange Man Bad, has won the election and is now the mayor. All right, so there you guys go. And then it ends with him walking around the citizens of New York who voted for him and who are celebrating Wilson Fisk being the mayor of New York, to the point he hates it so much he just shoves a guy out of the street, out of his way. Doesn't matter if the people voted for him. Matt Murdock will get down to the bottom of this. He had actually filed, whatever, a private investigator to research Fisk and make sure all his money was clean. Couldn't stand it. Can't stand that he won. That's the premise of the show. Politics. Let's drag in real world politics. Let's have a scar on his face. Mention that he's been shot at in the head and all of that. And can't see past it. I can't see past it, especially since the opportunity arose that they would reconfigure this show, reshoot it, scrap it even from what it was originally supposed to be. And this is what we have. Now, somebody's going to say, Shane, that's impossible. It's coincidence. The timelines don't line up. But yet I'm watching it. That's the thing. That's the problem. Yet I am watching this and I can't see past it. I would almost say some of these scenes should be taken out. Maybe he was shot in the chest, not the head. Maybe this should have been scrapped in some way, or the being shot at just shouldn't be covered that much at all. Who cares about Echo? Who cares about half the continuity in any of these shows? I know for the MCU fans are like junkies with this continuity, but at some point in time, guess what? Not everybody that watches a Marvel movie is watching this. Most of the people that are watching this are just guys. If you're watching this video, you probably just watched a Netflix show and you're coming over to this. And that was the great thing about Daredevil, is it didn't have a lot to do with the rest of the MCU. Not that I'm kind of curious where this is going to go, but at the same time, I'm so kind of done with anti-Trump stuff at this point. And again, I voted for Trump. I'm okay with that. You're okay with that. Everybody's okay with that, except the people that wrote this show, because they want to take a character I like, a TV show I even like, Netflix's Daredevil and actually have the protagonist not be okay with that. I voted for Trump, I guess. And it really does feel like a political stand-in for Trump in some ways. Or you just have to watch it. There's scenes. It just feels that way. Or maybe I'm just so sick of propaganda comics that I can't see past every shot like we've had, like Modoc Trump and anything to ostracize Trump in media. So I don't know. You guys watch it. You guys tell me if I'm seeing things in the clouds. If not, it might be me. If this video gets enough watches, likes, I'll go through the other episodes. I will say, if you can look past that and you like the Netflix stuff, the first episode is not bad. Is it great? Some people are going to be upset. Some people will be intrigued. Some of the charm, again, with the effects, with the fight sequences, I'm not getting in this at all. I will say Disney isn't softening it up, though. I mean, there's a lot of blood, a lot of gunplay. So they are trying to get edgy like the Netflix show. It's getting littered with the superhero special effects, which are really shitty. I don't know if people have really noticed how like a lot of these characters are just floating around like they weigh like 20 pounds. Like there's no weight distribution happening when they land, when they swing, when they bounce off the things. It just feels that way. It feels fake. So maybe you guys will like it. Maybe you want. Is this a recommend for me? If you can see past the politics, yes, it's a recommend. If you can't, see, that's the problem. It's a coin toss, whether you see it or you don't. Maybe after watching this video, you're probably going to see it, though. Also, if you guys will, and you haven't, please go check out Inglorious Rex at $265,274. I know you guys will love this book. If you like boxing, if you like MMA fighting, and like Kaiju and Godzilla, you'll absolutely love Inglorious Rex. I'll leave you guys with a trailer for this smash hit comic, and we'll catch you guys again with another video.